Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new battle report. It's an Age of Sigmar battle report, 1500 points, where my Bretonnia and Stormcast will fight against Ogors. So what is the Bretonnia list? It's going to be the King, Lowen Lincoln, one Damsel on a horse, 5 Real Knights, 2 units of 8 Knights of the Realm, 16 bowmen, 5 liberators, and 3 prosecutors. And why I put this Stormcast there is because, yeah, I don't have units of low cost, I don't have men of arms, and yeah, I wanted to run the numbers with units. I didn't want to use more characters at this low number of points. From my opponent's side, he's playing an Ogre list with a Tyrant, 3 Man-Eaters, 6 Iron Guts, 2 units of 6 Ogres, and 1 Gargan, 1 Giant. We go into deployment. The battle we play is the Gift from the Heavens, so it's the one that in turn 2 is arriving the objective in one of the 3/3 of the battlefield, and we have to control this. And each time you're controlling the objective, you're getting the number of points equal to the turn that you are controlling that. So turn 2 you control, you gain 2 points, 3, 4, or 5 points. So here the mobility is going to be good, and I think Bretonnia is a good setup for this type of a scenario. And this is the deployment I did from left to right. I put in my left flank the Grail Knights and the Knight of the Realm and Lowen Lincoln. In the forest in the middle, we have my bowmen backed up by the prosecutors, and then on my right flank I have the other units of knights and the liberators. I want to really control one of the flanks, and I want to be. I just want to keep the mobility. As you can see, we play in a table that is 4x4 feet. It's a small table. It's set up in the Games Workshop store of Brussels. But I will say that the table was very nice to play. It's have the ambience of Giran, and here we have all these pinkish trees with all this nice board. I think it's a lovely board. So I really like the scenario and the table where we played today. Another picture of my deployment. Here we have an overall. I really love this table. So, and I think also this big Stargate that you see in the middle, it's really a nice addition to the table. And my opponent, he put in his what is my left flank on his right flank. So in front of my Grail Knights and Lowen Lincoln, we have the Gargan and the Man-Eater. So then they have 1 unit of Ogres in the middle. Then on his left flank, he has the Tyrant with the Iron Guts and very score to his left flank. He has the other unit of Ogres. He's trying to use of course, the ability of destruction to be able to improve the movement of his Ogres. I have to say, yeah, here I have really more mobility than him, but the table is quite small, so the mobility is not sometimes it's not that important in when the table is just 4x4. Yeah, I also have to say that Lowen Lincoln is my general, so I don't have any command ability, and I'm okay with that because really the ability of that the free people is ignoring battle shock is really strong. And then I use the magical object on the damsel. I give to the damsel the one that it's -1 to hit once per battle to her. So just in case she's in combat a little bit of and try to see if I can save her. But I think if she's in combat with any other unit, she will die pretty fast. Yeah, that's here. And yeah, I have to say that the common ability of my opponent is that he has the +2 movement in the movement phase. So when he's rolling the d6 additional move that he can do in his movement phase, he has adding +2 to the movement. And here we see he's using the last miniature of the Iron Jaws boss, and he's using this miniature as a Tyrant because I think it's the size of
Ogre, this meter, so I think it's matching quite well. Here we see the unit of Iron Guts and the Ogres that are hidden next to this tree. Again, a very nice piece of terrain done by the staff of the Games Workshop. And here we have the other side where we have the Gargan and the Man-Eaters, and you can see I really enjoy this terrain. It's a little bit not that easy to play with all this forest, but the look is amazing. Here we have another picture of the deployment. There is a unit of Ogres inside of this forest that you see in the middle of the deployment zone. And just overview before going to battle. So we go, and the Ogres finish to deploy first, and they decide to take the initiative and to have turn one. And I'm quite okay with that, because I think the distance, I prefer his reducing a little bit the distance. I cannot charge from that distance, and they are out of my shooting range. So if they move a little bit against me, it's going to be good, and I will not complain. So I'm okay that he's having the first turn. This is just the dice to show the turn where we are playing. And he just moved ahead, he used the movement ability. Not too aggressive, to be fair. I think he tried to avoid that I can charge easily to him. He was asking me the distance of charge. The movement of my horses is 10, the movement of the Griffon is 14. So I have a good movement, and then I have the javelins, that the guys with the javelins move 12. But really, these guys are not there to assault. So, yeah, not too much action from his own. We are going to see a little bit more of close-ups of his movement. He just moved one of the unit of Ogres to threaten my right flank, and the Gargan and the Man-Eaters are coming in my left flank. In the middle, he's just moving ahead with the other units of 6 Ogres, plus the Tyrant, plus the Man-Eaters. One thing that is important is the terrain in the middle is the one that is dangerous, so it's the one that if you charge or run, and if you roll a 1, you are dying. So most of the terrain are causing are sinister. So it's just the only terrain that the main one that is in the middle is really dangerous. And in certain point makes sense, because it looks like a giant realm gate, so it's dangerous to be next to these magical things. And with that, we go to the turn 2 for Bretonnia. And I decided to move quite aggressive in my left flank. I was adopting, but at the end I said, why not? Let's get fun. And I move really very aggressively with my lower lane core to be in range to charge. I also move fast with my Grial Knights, try to give some to use them as a bodyguard for the lower lane core, and then in my right flank I move more conservative. I just put the prosecutors in range to be able to shot the javelins into the Iron Guts. I want to start reducing the number on the Iron Guts, and then I really back up with the Liberators and the other unit of Realm Knights. Because I don't want to get engaged in close combat in both flanks at the same time. So really there I can wait, I don't have, and then I want to see if I can break the Ogres on the other flank. I keep my Realm Knights as a backup, as a second wave, just to protect also my deployment zone, and waiting to see where the meteor is falling, or the meteor or the objective, I would say, where it's falling. The archers remain stationary. And I did some shooting, and in the shooting I killed one of the Iron Guards. Between the Bowman and the Prosecutors, I killed one of the Iron Guards, and I give, I think, a wound on another one. So the unit of 6 Iron Guards is reduced to 5. It's good to start making a little bit of bleed on my opponent. And here is where the other flank, you see the Knights of the Realm. I just move them in a position that they can counter-charge in case it's needed. I move the Grial Knights quite ahead. I want to engage them with I tried to charge as well with the Grial Knights, but they did not reach on the charge. I think they was needing an 8, and I failed. And yeah, but the one that did not fail was lower lane core. He just needed a 4, and he managed to assault.
Here we see the overview before we do the close combat between the Giant and the Gargan and Lower Lincoln. So this is the other flank, what I was explaining. I back up a little bit with the Liberators. I try to use the Liberators as a wall of shields in front of my knights. If he tries to attack me, I use the Liberators to stop the movement of the Ogors. Then I retire the Liberators and I assault with the knights. Really, the knights, it's day and night the difference when they assault or not, and you will see this during this battle. So this is another, again, you see my knights are there. And of course, I don't know where the objective will fall in turn 2, so I need to be a little bit spread and to be ready in case it's falling in any of my position of my deployment zone. And this is the other flank again. And here we see the combat between the Giant and Lowen Leoncoeur. And after this combat, I did 7 wounds on the Giant, and in return, I did not receive a single wound. So very happy. I put on Lowen Leoncoeur the Mystic Shield as well. So he had 2 plus armor save plus charging, what they have all the bonus, and I give his command ability on himself to be able to really. I was almost expecting to kill the Giant, and I was quite unlucky on this assault. But at the end, doing 7 wounds on the Giant, I think I have him almost finished for the next turn. And yeah, let's see, because now we have to roll for initiative. If I have the initiative, it's going to be great, because then I can. Lowen Leoncoeur there is very exposed. He can be assaulted now by the Tyrant and the Ogres, and so if they assault, he can be killed. So I really need to have the second turn to put my Grial Knights as a wall of flesh and metal between the rest of the Ogre army and the king. And with that, we are finishing the first turn, and we are ready to go to the second turn. And we have to roll initiative. And I won the initiative, and this was great for me. And then, so to have 2 turns in a row, it's really good. And I decide to of course, to take the initiative. So here we have the dice marking the turn. And yeah, I move my knights just to be able to charge the man-eaters. I really need to avoid that Lowen Leoncoeur is fighting alone. And I move ahead with my Liberators, leaving the knights as a backup. I move the Liberators inside of the ruins that you see on my right. And I keep a little bit waiting, because I was okay. I will do some more shooting on the Iron Guards to see if I can kill another one. This will be great. And yeah, and I don't need to rush. The plan in the close combat, because I always think what is going to be my sequence before assaulting. This is an important thing. And here my sequence is going to be: first I will attack with the Grial Knights. I will let Lowen Leoncoeur, that is still at 10 wounds. I think he will not die in front of the Giant. And I think it's important to kill some man-eaters. Sorry, I was saying I need to kill some man-eaters with the Grial Knights to minimize the damage they can do on the Knights. So this is the plan. I'm just waiting, and as you can see, I keep 1 unit of Knights of the Realm as a backup. The thing I forgot to mention, the meteor fall in the middle of my deployment zone, so now it's controlled by my bowman, and also the damsel is almost not visible, but is in this picture, I can tell you, and is inside of the forest. I don't see there is, and yeah, just to mention that I did Mystic Shield on the Knights of the Grial Knights. So the Grial Knights have Mystic Shield, and I use the command ability this time on the Grial Knights. So Grial Knights will have +1 to hit. They will reroll to hit, so it means that they are rolling on 2+ to hit, and they will have +1 to wound, and they will do +1 damage because they are assaulting. So this is the big difference. So really, assaulting is giving you on all these knights +1 to wound, +1 damage, and this is making a big difference, especially when you are fighting against the Ogres. So here we see how my army is repositioned. In the shooting phase, I think I kill I kill another Iron Gut between the shooting of the prosecutors and the bowman. So this time the bowman did more damage than the prosecutors, and prepares in the previous turn was the other way around. But them two together are working quite well, and yeah, just killing Iron Gut and Iron Gut, it's good because it's really 3 attacks less in close combat. So the overview. And here we go, and yeah, the Guild Knights did not fail me, and they make the assault. And now we are in the close combat with the Man-Eaters, and the Guild Knights will go first. So here we see just before the close combat, a closer look, and then yeah, the Guild Knights kill one of the Man-Eaters and wound another one. I think now he has one full and another one with only one wound remaining. So yeah, I was expecting a little bit more, but it's not bad. And the point is to avoid to engage the Ogors that are in the forest. I could not put the banner in contact with the Man-Eaters at 1 inch. If I was doing that, I was engaging then the Ogors that are in the forest, and I really want to avoid that. So here we see, and yeah, let's go to the next. And this is the resulting. So he attacked back with the giant. The giant, I think, did 2 wounds to the Leon core. Then I attack back with my king, and the king slay the giant. The giant fall on top of my king, making another mortal wound. So he's doing these 3 mortal wounds, he only did 1. And then the Man-Eaters strike back, and they kill one of my knights. Really, having all this save helped me to minimize the damage in return, and I was quite happy. So I killed the giant, and the Man-Eaters are really decimated. So not a bad choice, but now I have to see, because it's coming the turn 2, and yeah, these guys are quite exposed there. So I really need to bring here now the Knights of the Realm and protect my middle. So at the end, I consider this was a good distraction, because if these Iron Guards and the Tyrant just rush against my Bowman, they will destroy my middle deployment zone. So let's see. He have to leave my king alone, and then my king can engage the Ogors in the forest, and I think between the king and the Guild Knights, they can really control there if the Iron Gods and the Tyrant are not coming in to help, or the Tyrant and the Iron Gods, instead of going to try to destroy my objective, they have to deal with the King Lowenland Core and the Guild Knights. So this is how we finish at the end of the turn 2. Yeah. Overview. So here we have the overview, and now we are ready to go to turn 2 for the overview. And yeah, I was scoring 2 points because I'm controlling my objective. So we go into turn 2 for the Ogors. And here we have, they just move the unit of Ogors that was in the forest to engage the King Leon Core, and the Tyrant also moved to try to attack my real knights. So yeah, this Tyrant is quite strong, and they really. So at the end, it's good. And the ones that did not come into action were the Iron Gods. The Iron Gods just move into this terrain. Now they have quite a good cover against my shooting, but yeah, they did not engage against my. So he really split the forces, going there with the Tyrants, the Ogors. But by doing that, he lost the control of his objective. So the meteor is the red dot that you see there, is where the meteor fall, and now is divided between, because he have one guy inside, and I also have one knight inside, so he cannot control his own objective at this moment.
On the other side, you can see the unit of Ogors that was threatening my right flank decide to back up and to move back to his deployment zone. This is the unit that is going to control his own objective. So you see here more in this flank. So really, he did not want to engage in that flank, and I think just 6 Ogors against and the rest of my army was not strong enough. He needs the support of also of the Iron Guts there. This is the overview before the close combat. You see now my knights are completely here alone, so I need to know I'm a little bit off of position because I have to defend my middle battlefield and I have to try to assault his deployment zone. And here is after the combat. After the combat, I think first he attacked with the Ogors onto my king, onto the King Lone Leoncore, and the King Lone Leoncore just survived with 2 wounds, so he managed to put me to 8 wounds, and remember the king only have 10 wounds, so he's 2 wounds to be dead. I was very lucky that he did not die. And then my Guild Knights kill the Man-Eaters, but in return the Tyrant destroy my unit of Guild Knights, and only 1 Guild Knight is surviving. So there really my Guild Knights are off, and also my king is almost dead. So I need really the next turn to do something. If not, the king will die and the Guild Knight will die at the beginning of the next turn. So let's see what happens and who has initiative there. This is the overview, but so far I'm not. I think this is the most important initiative roll. If I win the initiative roll, I will be in good shape. If I'm losing the initiative roll, I will lose the King Lowen Leoncore, I will lose the Guild Knight, and then I will have this flank completely overrun. So I really need to check. I really need to win this initiative. Yeah, and this was at the end of the turn 2 of the Ogres. They did not score any point this turn, so we are 2-0, and then we go to the third turn. An overview before going to the third turn. And yeah, I was lucky, and I won the initiative on the third turn. So I go first on the third turn. I really need that. If not, my general was dying. So his dice marking the third turn. And this is what I did. This is the movement phase. So I really retired from combat the King Lowen Leoncore, and I move with the unit of Knights of the Realm to be able to assault the Ogors. So I want really to kill this unit of Ogors and have the control on this flank. The King Lowen Leoncore is healing 1d3 wounds at the beginning of each hero phase. He only healed 1, so I was not very lucky there. But I also move the Prophetess within 6 inches, so the Prophetess have the power that he also can heal 1 wound from another Bretonnian, another nobility or another free people. I don't remember, but he can heal 1 of the wounds of the King Lowen Leoncore. So I really move the lady there in damsel there within 6 inches of the king, and I will use the Knights of the Realm, try to do as much damage as I can to this Ogre's unit. The Guild Knight disengage also from the Tyrant, and he move within the forest of the Ogres, or the Ogres deployment zone, where they have the objective. The reason is, make no sense to let him die in my turn, so it's better to move it and force the enemy to chase you, to kill you. And this in the other flank, as the Ogres just run away from this flank, I decide to advance with my knights and with my liberators. Then we go in the shooting phase. As you can see, my bowman is still there. I keep
Also the prosecutors at 12 inches, more than 12 inches to be able to have +2 damage. I did the triple shooting with the bowman and I kill another iron gut. So the iron gut is reduced to 3 guys. So only the banner, the boss of the unit, and the musician is alive. Here we see another overview, but yeah, I think now the iron guts are more manageable only with 3 guys. It makes my life much easier. But you can see here I realized that my bowmen were completely exposed, so there is nothing to stop these iron guts to go against my bowmen because I want to charge the flank. Here we have another overview. And yeah, I assault with my Knight of the Realm, and with you see there is all these tokens. I put Mystic Shield on them. I use the ability of Lowen Leoncore to reroll the hits. They have sorry, not to reroll the heals, to give +1 to hit. So they have Mystic Shield, and plus the shield is giving +1 to armor save when they assault. And on top they have +1 to hit. So they killed 4. Yeah, they killed 4 of the Ogors, and in return, I think I only lost 1 knight, if I'm not wrong. I think I only rolled 1-1, so yeah, because they don't have Ren, and now these knights have 2+ armor save thanks to the ability of the shields plus the Mystic Shield. Of course, now they are exposed to be assaulted by the Tyrant, but no, yeah, this unit is not anymore as the threat that they used to be, and this flank is again under my control. And here we see, yeah, this was at the end of the turn, and I want to show you that, yeah, Lowen Leoncore is have 7 wounds, so only 3 wounds to die. And this is the overview. So my army is quite spread over the table, and yeah, I'm quite happy at the end of this turn. I'm looking forward to see what my opponent is going to do in turn 3. I scored 3 points, so we are 5-0, but of course I have 1 turn more than my opponent, and now my opponent can play turn 3. Here I just want to show you, inside of this forest I have my Grial Knight, the one that just ran away from the combat. The Ogors are coming, most likely they will assault him, but yeah, this is just to force the situation. These Ogors cannot go against my Knights of the Realm because they need to deal with the Grial Knight. This is in the forest, or he has to send something there. So this is the way to force the opponent to move, and makes no sense to leave one of your miniatures just to die in close combat if you can retire it from the combat. Yeah, you cannot see these forests are a really nice table, but sometimes it's not easy to see the miniatures on this table. And here we have another subjective picture, I think, to show the charge of the Knights of Bretonnia. And another subjective. I just wanted to make a couple of nice pictures of ground level pictures. And the other flank. Yeah, this flank, at the end, these liberators are really losing the time here. They don't know where to go, and the knights, at least the knights have good movement, and they will be able to reach at the end of the battle the enemy deployment zone. And with that, we now go to the turn 3 for the Ogors. Yeah, and here is the point. So the Iron Guts at the end decide to move ahead and assault my bowmen that are in the forest. I think this was a good movement, and the bowman does not have any opportunity to fight against these Iron Guts, but at least I'm counting on the numbers as they are immune to battle shock if Lowen Leoncore is surviving. And yeah, the Tyrant just assault my Knights of the Realm. My Knights of the Realm, remember, I still have the Mystic Shield, so they have a good armor, 3+ armor, and they are there, and they are engaged with the Tyrant and with the 2 surviving Ogors. Yeah, you see here in the combat.
on the assault of the Titan. I was quite happy with that. The Titan is not coming to destroy my battle line, and yeah, I think these guys are doing the job they have to do, forcing the Titan to go there and decimating one of the unit of Ogors. I'm good with that. It's giving time to Lowen Leoncore to recover some wounds with with his ability, plus Damsel giving another additional wound next turn. And and in that flank, the Ogors at the end, they had to return to their deployment zone and they assault the Gwill Knight. So here we have a big melee combat. I think I don't know if my bowman make one wound to one of the Iron Guts, and the Iron Guts kill 6 of my bowmen. So they will be there, and I'm still higher in numbers, so they will not be able to score my objective, and they will keep the objective under the control of Bretonnia. And in that side, I think, I don't know if I make a wound or a couple of wounds, because now remember, the lands, once you're not in combat, you don't have the +1 to wound, and you don't have the +1 damage. So really now the knights are 3 to hit, 4 to wound, no rend, 1 damage. So not something impressive. The horses are stronger. When you are not assaulting, the horses are stronger than the knights, and the tyrant can also deal a lot of damage. So I'm there engaging combat. I don't know if I think the Tyrant on the first round completely failed on making anything, so he did nothing to my knights, and I don't know if I lost 1 or 2 knights killed by the Ogors, by the normal Ogors. And this is the overview. Of course, the Gwill Knight that was in the Ogors deployment zone was killed by the Ogors. Only by, they were killed. Narrow kill, because only one, I only failed 1 save, but that was enough because they do 2 damage. And this flank, So this is the overview. I think I have quite a good control of the board, and and the only thing is now I need to back up a little bit, and I need to send the king to try to kill the Iron Guts before the Iron Guts kill my bowman and they have control of the objective in my deployment zone. And in the meantime, I will send the real knights that are in my right to try to kill the Ogors that are controlling his objective. So with that, we go to the end of the turn 3, and they score 3 points, so we are 5 to 3. So he's closing the gap, and we are ready to go to turn 4. And this time the Ogors won the initiative. I think it was more critical, really, the initiative in turn 3 than no. No, I'm okay that the Ogors have the initiative, and let's see what they do. So they did not have too much to do. They keep engaging combat there with the knights, with my knights. And there in his deployment zone, he decided to keep the Ogors controlling the objective, so he wants to score the 4 points by controlling his objective. And the Iron Guts keep engaged with the bowman. So the movement was very fast, and we went almost straight forward to close combat. The shooting, he tried to shoot to Lowen Leoncore. I was scared, because he shoot, he hit, he won, but I did the save. And remember, the shooting of only 1 shot goes through wound me, but is doing this 3 damage, and I only have 3 wounds remaining. So I was a little bit scared that he's going to kill, because I really need Lowen Leoncore to deal with the Iron Guts. If not, I will lose the control of my own objective. So yes, I'm glad that he did not kill Lowen Leoncore in the shooting phase, and then, as you can see in the picture, I kill another of the Ogors, but now my unit of knights is reduced to 3. As you can see, when I charge, I kill 4 Ogors. Once I'm engaged in combat, it's hard even to kill one of the Ogors in close combat with the knights. So it's really
very different situation, and the knights cannot be engaged in combat for long. So they really need to charge and break the opponent unit, and if you don't break the opponent unit, you need to disengage from the combat, because really the knights, when they are just in combat, they are not good. They lose all the abilities, the +1 for the shield, they lose the additional strength of the lance, and they are just almost like regular humans. And here I was quite happy. He killed another 6 of my bowman, but I still have more meters than my opponent, and so he cannot get control of this objective here. And now, yeah, in my turn, now it's coming my turn, so I will be able to send some reinforcements and help the bowman to keep the control of this objective. So with that, we go to the turn 4 for Bretonnia. I remember I have one lance that is completely fresh in my right flank, ready to go against my opponent's deployment zone. And then I have the other lance of Knights of the Realm that is completely destroyed by the Ogors on my left flank. So yeah, and here in the middle, what I did is I sent the prosecutors back within 6 inches of my objective. So in case he's killing all my bowmen, I will still have more numbers than him, even if I swap with the king low and encore. The king just recovers some wounds. I think now he's he healed this turn 3 more wounds, 1 given by Damsel, 2 given by his own ability. So now he's at 4 wounds, and now he's ready to engage against in close combat the Iron Guts. Yeah, here we see, and I put my prosecutors within the objective range. Even I also move my damsel within the objective range, in case I cannot kill the Iron Guts with the King Low and Leoncore. Here we see ground view, the archers against, or the bowman against the ogres. I did all the shooting. The shooting did nothing. You see, now I only have 4 wounds on the King Low and Leoncore, so I'm quite in good shape now. And this time I tried to use the Arkham Bolt and I failed. I wanted to kill one of the man eaters. Sorry, of the Iron Guts. Only have one wound remaining. I did the shooting, I did nothing. First I did the Arkham Bolt, nothing. I did all the shooting, nothing. This time I was not lucky with the shooting. So yeah, I was hoping to do some wounds and help, because there are 9. So I think that there are no 9 wounds remaining. So it's not easy to do 9 wounds with just the king. And as you can see in the other flank, I just move the other unit of Knights of the Realm to be able to assault in the next turn. So if they want to come to me, they have to leave the objective, so it's not working for them. So I'm forcing them or stay in the objective and receive the charge, or leave the objective and come to me. And the Liberators, yeah, they will not do any other thing. They just run back to my own objective in case they are needed. But they will do nothing in this battle, most likely. And again, what I was explaining, the knights should not die unnecessarily in close combat. So I retire them from the close combat and leave them ready for turn 5 to be able to charge. And force my enemy to move again from there. So forcing the movement of my enemy, I just move them behind the dice that you see there. So it's behind this ring, behind the piece of terrain that you see at the bottom of the picture. Then we go into combat. Of course, as you can see, I also try to minimize the number of combats in my turn in order that I have the initiative. So I attack first with the King Low and Leoncore, and I kill 2 of the Iron Guts, and the last one is only surviving with a single wound. So quite happy with that. I almost killed them all, so because I make the big attack, but yeah,
I leave one of the iron guts just with one wound. He tried to attack the king, but I did my saves. So with the ones that and remember, I don't have now the mystic shield, so but I was quite lucky and I did the save that I needed. I don't think he was able to kill me because I have no 6 wound remaining, but yeah, at the end I have the control of this objective. And with that I did 4 points more, so we are 9 to 7 at the end of my turn, and now we go to turn 5 of the battle. This is just the overview just before going to the 5th turn. I have my objective now quite good under my control, and yeah, and I think I have a good threat against the objective of the Ogors. Now, overview before we go into the turn 5, we have to roll against for initiative. And Bretonnia won the initiative this time. He rolled a 5 and I rolled a 6. And yeah, I know I have the initiative in turn 5. I don't think was really making a big difference here to have the initiative or not in this last run of the battle. I think I had the battle quite good under control, but we go into turn 5. So I decided to move the prosecutors to be in range to shoot, and my objective is to kill the last of the Ogors, so I will leave the Tyrant alone. And then I move my 2 units of knights to assault the backward of my opponent. Yeah, there in the picture you see in the right the big lands and the 3 surviving that they were in combat with the Tyrant and with the Ogors in the previous at the beginning of the battle, and they disengage from combat in turn 2. In turn 4, you see now in turn 5 they are ready to assault again and do more damage than just remaining in combat. Here we see how I'm surrounding the forest where the Ogors are trying to control their own objective. Another overview of the battle. In the shooting phase, I killed the Ogre, the last Ogre on the unit. So from the Ogre side, only the Tyrant and the unit of Ogres in the forest is surviving now. See, this is the shooting result. And on the shooting, I also killed the last of the Iron Guts. So really, the King Low and Leon Core did not need to kill the last of the Iron Guts. The Bowman, they did the shooting and they just scratched the last wound from the Iron Gut. And now, yeah, the Long Core I cannot move because this was in the shooting phase. And I forgot to mention, now he healed 2 more wounds, so he only have 2 wounds remaining. So I mean, he only have 2 wounds, so he have 8 wounds to survive to be killed. So it's back to 8. It's good ability, and no, yeah. In case even if the Tyrant is coming here, the King Long Core can deal with him. And there we have a big melee. And I killed some Ogors, and I think the Ogors did nothing to me. So I really won the combat there. I think I killed 3 of the Ogors, 3 or 4 of the Ogors. No, I killed 3 Ogors and 1 ran away in the battle shock. Something like that. So there we have the big melee. I score 5 points for each objective because I'm really I have more meters in the under the control of both objective, and yeah, I did 10 more points. Yeah, another picture of the combat. The Ogres surrounded by the knights, and again another example that really the knights needs to assault. So it's really a big difference between assaulting and not assaulting on the knights. All the wounds are on the assault, and if you are not assaulting, you are dying. This is the result now, 19 to 7, and there is 1 turn more for the Ogres now. Ogres turn 5. They just try to move back to assault
to attack my knights to see if they can do as much damage as they can. But this time the Tyrant didn't do great. The Ogors did nothing, and yeah, a lot of knights just surviving there. And at the end, they didn't manage to score their own objective on their turn. Here we see, and the battle finalized here. So we finalized here the battle. I think was very interesting. This was showing a lot. I think here was key that I was to be faster than my opponent. Was making a big differences, and also the importance of retiring at the right time. So especially if your units are specialized in assaulting, make no sense to let your units die in close combat if you can retire. So it's really important to know when you need to retire from the combat and to really manage and when you want to assault. So at the end, the final score was, and this is a mistake, was 19-7 because I did 10 points on the last turn. So it's 19-7, a victory for Bretonnia, and I was quite happy. I wanted to test a different army. I was used to play with the Stormcast Eternals, and I think Bretonnia is doing well. But again, the knights are very strong when they assault, but are very weak on grinding battles. So if they are engaged in combat and they have to go for a long run, then they become weak and weak and weak, and they are easy to kill. And that's all for now. Please give a like, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and give your opinion below. Let me know what do you think. Let me know if we did something wrong here. We always, if you see that we did something wrong, just let me know. As usual, thanks a lot for watching. And please, if you also can support me in Patreon. So if you want to support the channel on the painting tutorials on the Hobbit side, to see more Hobbit, to see more stuff here, you always can support me in Patreon. That's all for now. As usual, big thanks for watching this video, and see you again later. Bye.